Hi Leo, welcome to your end of September 2018 tarot update. It's Raina here. I just got the Chariot in the reversed position for the last reading, and it's funny because when I put it back in the deck, I don't know if I must have put it back in the right side up, because very interesting. A lot of swords, a lot of conflict or some kind of thing. I always pick an additional card because with the Ten of Swords, we're talking about some kind of betrayal, and it's like, and you're going to be betrayed. Have a nice rest of your month. No, I'm not going to do that. I want to see what's really going on here. Okay, so I think like in this particular situation, I would say that there is, okay, before I begin, remember that this is a general reading. I know that everyone knows that, but when they start to hear me say something, then they start to say, well, that's not happening in my life. I want to go with what these cards seem to suggest for me, mostly, rather than trying to fit it into every possible scenario. Okay, so what I see just right off the bat is treachery from coworkers that comes from your success. This is your success. This is in the foundation. This is like you, maybe you took charge of your life, you know, the reins of the horse, and you like really just powered on in your life. And this might have been something that wasn't easy for you, but you did it. And what may be true for you is that other people that might have gotten you a promotion, and other people resented the heck out of it. This is supposed to be people working together productively, but this is in the challenge position. So it's like maybe like you know, one possible scenario is you got a promotion where you were like co-workers with people, and now you control them and they're not cooperating with you. The heart of the matter is the Seven of Swords. This could be some kind of deceptive behavior. Sometimes this can be physical theft, depending on what the circumstances are, and people could be trying to sabotage you. I think this is a card of sabotage, I believe, unless that's the Five of Swords. I think it is the Seven of Swords, because I think there's some premeditated malice that happens. So yeah, you know, office politics, office intrigue, kind of something along those lines. If there is some kind of a romantic situation going, there could even be like a cheating situation. Number 3 can indicate 3 parties involved, and the Seven of Swords itself is deceptive behavior. It could be with a coworker. Now, I'm not saying that this is you. I guess it could be you, but if it's somebody, if it's your spouse, your partner, I don't know if they're the Cancer person, or if that's the sign of the person they're with. Maybe it's something you discovered when the sun was, you know, during the solar eclipse in Cancer. Maybe somehow that sparked something, because that was your 12th house, so that might have been some kind of karmic situation just pushing forward. The spiritual message or the psychological message, what is going on here, is Seven of Wands. This is about defending yourself or being on the defensive. Now, it's funny. There are certain signs like Leo. When I speak of it, I don't think of you guys being that type because you usually act very confident. But it could be that in relationships, if this is a personal relationship, that is where you are vulnerable. Maybe that's where you tend to cave in, so to speak. Maybe it's your work life that you feel more confident. But anyway, anyone who ever, makes you feel, and I don't like to say makes you because you're responsible for your feelings, but if it triggers within you feelings of inadequacy, that you have to defend yourself on a regular basis, really reconsider that relationship, because chances are it's a toxic one. Chances are that person is doing that specifically to keep you in that position where it's just like, this is a defensive stance. He's fending off an attack. And that's a horrible vibe to be in when you're dealing with other people, is to feel like, oh, I have to defend myself. There's something very, weak. Well, when I don't like the word weak, but there's something disempowering about being in that kind of a dynamic with another person. And so really look at that. And also, there may be, like, as a fire sign, there may be like a fire sign person who has your back. Maybe you have a friend or a business contact that is an Aries or a fellow Leo or Sagittarius that can help you. And maybe for some reason your pride has gotten in the way. You're trying to do things by yourself. The practical advice or kind of like observation of the situation is the Nine of Pentacles. This shows that you are financially solvent on your own. You don't need another person. If this is a marriage, you don't need them to support you, so why are you there? That kind of thing. But even in the workplace, you don't need this. Somehow this is saying, either you have money saved or you have skills that could be easily snapped up in another minute if you happen to leave this position. That could be what is going on. You may, it is possible that you are trying to leave a relationship with a coworker. Maybe you're having, either you're married and having an affair, or they have somebody else in their life and you are with a person who is married or otherwise involved with somebody, and you're trying to leave that situation, but what this card is you're trying to kind of do so in a very unobtrusive manner, because maybe you're afraid that they will retaliate in some way. So for instance, if you're the one this would especially apply if you're the one that is married, where you may decide to work on your relationship, and the other party is like, kind of like the scorned lover, and you're afraid that they're going to tell everybody and make you look bad and things like that. So it's really about getting away in a way that other people are not, the other person doesn't feel rejected. They said don't let them know you've broken up with them. So just like kind of gradually lessening contact. What's coming in is represented by the Knight of Swords. This can be a lawyer that is connected to your particular situation for some reason. If this is a workplace situation, it could be like a arbiter or whatever they call them, those mediators. If you feel like you are being sabotaged by people at work and that they're not cooperating with you, and you have the authority to tell them to do certain things and they're kind of balking at that authority, you may seek some kind of legal backup. In addition, this could simply be that you are becoming more of yourself, which that's how I see Leo, as being very confident. the Seven of Wands has you feeling defensive, but now you feel like, I'm going to just let the chips fall where they may. I'm not going to pussyfoot around anymore. And just being very blunt. There could be, I mean, that Seven of Swords, maybe that is an air sign person that is of interest to you. And perhaps this guy, this Cancer guy, maybe this was your relationship and it's falling apart, your marriage or your, you know, that foundation. And so you have somebody who is more compatible with you, a Libra, or I don't know what particular sign. Sometimes the Knight of Swords, I think, could even be a fire sign. Knights are air, fire energy, so combination of air and fire is perfect for you. So the outcome is a Ten of Swords. This is a feeling of betrayal. So what might happen is that you hire somebody to kind of be the mediator, and you find out proof that you've been screwed with. And it can really hit you hard because maybe you've worked with these people for a long time and it's like they turned on you and you're like feeling that sense of being stabbed in the back, metaphorically. I always have to say that. Or, you know, just betrayed by them. And with Leo, loyalty is everything. So that hits you even harder. And this applies also to your personal life. You may find out even something more. I mean, I didn't even think about this. Maybe the Knight of Swords is a private investigator, although usually it's like somebody associated with the legal profession. A private investigator might be more of a Page of Swords. I don't know. Maybe generally speaking, we could say that. But then I picked an additional card, the Empress, and this is the card of mothers, the feminine principle, maybe the divine feminine, the, what do you call it? It's a card of the mother, but also it's creative. Could indicate pregnancy. It could indicate just abundance. So like the Nine of Pentacles, the Empress is connected to Libra and it's connected to Taurus. But I say especially Taurus through Venus. But it's about love. So it could be love with the Knight of Swords. It could be that you are kind of hitting bottom with maybe the realization that a former relationship that you may have wanted to get out of anyway, but just the fact that you were betrayed can sting a little bit. And then the Empress. So somehow love conquers all. Even though there's been a lot, you know, when I see a lot of swords, it can indicate a lot of conflict, you know, in your life at the moment. But something really wonderful is waiting for you. And so you break up with your partner, but you're pregnant. And for some people, I know that wouldn't be good news because of the timing, perhaps. But for some of you, it may be just what you have wanted. Even if you're not with your partner, you may still feel like you're happy that you're going to give birth. Leo is a sign that loves children, so that's certainly not something that most of you would be against. But also, the Empress is about creativity in general. So perhaps if you decide to leave a job that, you know, the office politics are really horrible, the universe may be nudging you to be doing something that is more creative, that is more autonomous. And the Nine of Pentacles indicates that you have the ability to do this. You may be unnecessarily keeping yourself in a state of being in some sort of prison, you know. Maybe you have the ability to do this and you're just kind of talking yourself out of it. Okay, Leo, that's what I have for you. If you'd like a personal reading, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have a great rest of September. Bye.